All right, Bears fans, be real with me. What's your panic level after Week 1's 38-20 loss to the Packers? Scale it from 1 to 10. I'm probably at about an 8.5. I think a win in Tampa can calm things down a little bit, but that was deflating to say the least. So give me your panic level, 10 being completely panicked, 1 being no panic at all, down in the comments. It's Overreaction Monday in the NFL following the Bears' blowout loss. I am Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody who tuned into our watch party live post game last night. I know it was tough, but your support means a lot to us and producer Rolly as well. So we thank you all for tuning in, and thanks to everybody who's watching this morning. I got 6 overreactions to dive into, so let's go ahead and get to it here. Fire Luke Getsy, overreaction number 1. I'll call it an overreaction for now. I'm not firing the offensive coordinator 1 game into a season. Like, that's just not practical. There's just, even if you thought it was unbelievable, like malpractice to a point where you're like, he's unqualified, you don't really have a natural replacement. Like, is quarterbacks coach Andrew Janocko going to come in and light it up? So for now, it's obviously an overreaction. But that being said, Luke Getsy was atrocious yesterday. Atrocious. And then we find out after the game that the game plan was to throw a bunch of horizontal passes. Now, they're probably trying to negate for the offensive line that's been in flux the last couple of weeks. You lose Jenkins, you move Whitehair back to left guard, Lucas Patrick, and look, maybe the answer to that was you shouldn't have moved Whitehair back to left guard. Keep him at center where he's been. I know he had the hand issue, but if he's able to snap, maybe you should have kept him there and just go with Patrick at guard or go with Ja'Tyre Carter over there or Dan Feeney, who you traded for. You have to make adjustments if you're an offensive coordinator. Look, sometimes plan A doesn't work. That's fine. You want to get on the perimeter, try and stretch them out. Okay, cool. You try a couple times. If it's not working, hey, you got to try something else. But they kept going back to it, and I don't understand why. Like, they weren't blocking out there. By the way, Chase Claypool, clock's ticking, buddy. I saw rewatching the game last night, getting blown up by slot corners on a couple of those plays. Like, not a good look. You got to make adjustments, though, if you're Luke Getsy. That was pitiful. He gets an F grade from me. I thought it was horrific. So would you fire Luke Getsy right now? Type F for fire or R for relax. You're not firing him right now. I know people want to, and I understand, and I'm not happy with him either. And at this point, I've soured a lot on the guy. I tweeted that out. I voiced that yesterday, but not going to fire him week 1. So I'm going to type my R for relax for now, but pretty bad debut in week 1, no doubt about it. Okay, how about tank for the number 1 pick? This is an overreaction. Like, we did that last year. You can't be thinking tank for the number 1 pick already. Like, that's just a disastrous scenario to even think about. Now, I thought it was an interesting point by our good pal DeBear's blog saying, here's what I'll say about next week in Tampa. If the Bears lose, the conversations will shift to the number 1 pick very quickly. And look, the conversation could shift next week. You go to Tampa and lose, you're 0-2. You're really 0-3 because I know the Chiefs didn't look good in week 1. You think this team's going into Arrowhead and beating them, though, especially if they lose next week? It's the NFL. You never know any given Sunday, but that's extremely unlikely. But I just can't let my mind go there right now. We went through this last year, and I get it. It's a loaded quarterback class, and look, if you're 2-9, 11 weeks in, yeah, maybe at that point you're shifting toward the draft. But we're 1 game into this thing. Let's not tank for the number 1 pick right now. Let's try and figure this out. Bounce back with a win in Tampa and get the win back in the sails just a little bit here if you are the Chicago Bears. Today's show is sponsored by Marine Layer. If you want the softest clothing apparel out there, Marine Layer is the place to go. And at marinelayer.com/chat15, you can get 15% off. How many times have you felt you were in between sizes when buying clothes? Maybe you've had a few too many drinks lately, like I did during the watch party, or maybe you're hitting the gym extra hard like producer Rolly, and you've kind of dropped a size or a half size, and you're like, I'm kind of in between. You finally no longer have to make that difficult choice between medium and large because Marine Layer has those in-between sizes. We're trying to make Marge a thing. Whether you're going on a date, the office, or keeping it casual while watching sports, Marine Layer has the best shirts for every occasion. And did you hear about Marine Layer's Respun program? Everyone has a bunch of old tees collecting dust in the back of their closets. Marine Layer will send you a prepaid recycling kit and literally give you $5 of credit per shirt. You heard that, right? You actually get paid for your old T-shirts while helping Marine Layer keep tees out of landfills. out with the old shirts and in with the new. It's a great cause they push there. And for me, what I'm rocking today, this shirt right here, marinelayer.com/chat15. By the way, kind of the button-down sweater, very comfortable, very snug. Fall is here. It's finally cooling off this week in most places of the country. It's called the Asher Print Sweater Button-Down in Blue Geo. Kind of fits the Bears Navy there as well. Go check them out. They have all kinds of T-shirts, hoodies, polos, the short sleeve sweaters like this. Lots of cool stuff at Marine Layer. marinelayer.com/chat15 to get 15% off. That link is in the comments and in the description. Justin Fields isn't the guy. I'm going to label this undetermined. I'll be honest. I haven't watched the film yet, but because it's not available through NFL Plus yet, but I didn't like the second half. I actually thought he got into a decent rhythm in the first half, and I'll stand by what I said yesterday. I thought Luke Getsy handicapped him in a lot of ways with the way he was calling plays. Now, again, maybe a lot of that you can explain through the offensive line, but we just got to see more, man. We got to see more, and regardless of the play call, like, eventually the great ones elevate, and I did think he looked more comfortable throwing the football in the first half. I really did. They put together a couple of nice drives. They stalled out and had to settle for 3, but he was finding a rhythm. And we'll talk about DJ more later. Hit him for a couple of nice completions on one drive. Never saw him again. Again, we'll get to more in a little bit. But, you know, it's just one of those tough things. And I think what pisses me off the most is this year, to me, is about getting a clear answer on Justin Fields. And the game plan this week was a complete waste of time with limited evaluation. Now, the All-22 might show more of an evaluation. It always does. So we'll see what that shows. But I going through that game, I'm just like, well, that was a wasted rep. That was a wasted rep. Oh, another wide receiver screen for a loss of 6. Like, if you can't throw a wide receiver screen, then, like, that we're just like, are we trying to evaluate if Fields can throw the ball laterally? Like, push the ball downfield. And by the way, on radio this morning, Matt Eberflus said they need to take more vertical shots. Yeah, no shit. You threw the ball 37 times and only 4 of them traveled 10 yards or more. What does Justin Fields do well? He throws the ball vertically pretty damn well. The throw to Darnell Mooney, the slot fade, it's a great ball. It's a really great ball. And he checked to that play, which makes you even question Luke Getsy even more, for being completely honest. Is Justin Fields the guy? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Type U for undetermined. I know it's one game, but I'm a little lukewarm on just everything after yesterday. So got to see how more games go, but this was not a good start for anyone for the most part on the Chicago Bears, outside of maybe Roschon Johnson. Okay, Matt Eberflus, is he taking over play calling from Alan Williams for the defense? I don't think this should be an overreaction. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but again, only one game. But when you watched the Bears play defense yesterday, did it not look a lot like last year, right? I've kind of worn out on Al Williams. Last year, I gave him a bit of a pass because the personnel was just horrible, right? You added 6 new starters, and nothing changed. You refused to blitz. You do kind of the same concepts with your front 4, where there's not really any stunts. There's no twists. It's just like, get upfield and go and hope you win your battle. Like, at some point, you have to scheme things up, right? Like, bring a slot corner on a blitz. Fake a blitz and drop into covers. Like, disguise something. And by the way, if you're playing cover 2 concepts most of the time, there should not be wide open receivers over the middle of the field consistently. There was a lot of miscommunication on the back end. Sure, you could say some of that's on the players, of course, but, like, who's running the defense? Like, Flus, you're a defensive guy. You led 4 straight top 10 defenses in Indianapolis, and you've handed the keys to Alan Williams. You have to take him back, man, because Alan Williams was bad in Minnesota. It was bad last year, bad personnel, and it's horrible through 1 week this year with a much better defense on paper, at least in terms of pieces. Bad performance. I'd be fine with Flus taking over the defense play calling today. Like, I wouldn't waste another week if I were him. Don't think we'll do it, but that's what I would do. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be here for everything Bears, rain or shine. I get it's tough, but you know, stick with us here. We're going to have a fun season, at least make it as fun as possible. We'll be live later today, by the way, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central time. That is the plan. So youtube.com/BearsNow. Spread the word. I'm not punting on the season, even if some other people are. Okay, offensive line, does it suck again? It might. I need to see more. You know, you lose Tevin Jenkins right before the season. Cody Whitehair's hand gets banged up, so you move him to guard. Lucas Patrick's back in there. Nate Davis has hardly been available, but, man, it looked ugly. I need to watch the film on this specifically, but I don't want to give a pass because I don't think anyone deserves a pass without what was at stake in this Week 1 matchup, but basically none of these guys got consistent reps together. Now, Nate Davis didn't look very good. In that situation, I'm really concerned about. I thought both tackles struggled. Braxton Jones had 2 holding penalties. The PFF grades aren't out yet, but I'm fascinated to see those. I thought he was really bad. Darnell Wright wasn't very good either. I thought he was a little more up and down than Braxton Jones. I think there were more ups for him, but he got smoked a couple of times. He got just completely dusted by Rashawn Gary, who's a great pass rusher. You expect the rookie to take some lumps. Luckily, that sack got negated by a penalty, but you were just like, wow, I mean, he didn't get his hands on him. They struggled. The tackle struggled. Cody Whitehair got beat for a sack. Nate Davis didn't look good. Lucas Patrick, he stinks. Like I'd put Dan Feeney out there next week. Like the Lucas Patrick thing, like I don't get the obsession. But, yeah, I mean, look, I didn't think it was very good. I don't want to create excuses for Justin Fields this year. I borderline vowed not to do that, but didn't look very good, if we're being completely honest. Okay, how about feature DJ Moore? No fucking shit, man. Like, let's be real. You traded in a package the #1 pick to bring this guy in here, and you targeted him 2 times. That's coaching malpractice, and maybe it's quarterback malpractice too. Maybe it'll show on the tape that Justin Fields missed a bunch of opportunities to target him. I don't know, but you gotta if you're seeing that in between series and you're Luke Getsy, don't you have to pull Justin and DJ aside and say, hey, we're going to start force-feeding this guy. Like, he should be getting 10-plus targets a game. He's a #1 receiver. Like, I'll reiterate it here. Ryan Poles traded the #1 pick in a package to get DJ Moore, and you target him twice. That's beyond malpractice. That's a bad game plan. That's a lack of understanding. Like, if you're Ryan Poles, and after this game, how do you not storm into Flus's office with Alan Williams and Luke Getsy and say, what the fuck was that? In all 3 phases. Like, for real. Like, this guy brought in 26 new players. 26 new players are on this roster compared to last year, and it looked the same. That's beyond unbelievable, if we're being completely honest, especially considering what was at stake playing the Packers in Week 1. If you think DJ Moore needs more touches, type me. If you're not typing me, then you're a Packers fan. That's the only explanation, because that was unbelievable, to say the least. Lots of unbelievable stuff yesterday, which kind of makes it believable because it is the Bears. But we're going to be here. Subscribe. Join us this afternoon. More thoughts here on Overreaction Monday to come. We'll take your questions, get your thoughts on how everything went and where this team goes from here. My name is Harrison Graham. We will see you guys soon here on the channel.